All right, so this has been a highly anticipated release, well, project in general. Um, this figure sold out pretty much immediately. I don't need to talk too much about all of that, but it's come in today. It's been hotly scrutinized, I guess we could say, just on some of the first hands-on videos that we've seen. I gotta say, man, having it in person, um, I don't have a lot of problems with this figure, man. Of course, there's a few things that you know. There's a few. I don't want to call them problems, but parts that they could improve upon. Uh, and you can see kind of what we're comparing to right here just as well. But let's just hop into it real quick. And I don't want to do too much of a all-in review. I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of that already. I just want to talk real quick, get this cape, about some of the parts of the figure. For one, the head sculpt, and here, let me go down here to focus a little bit. With the head sculpt, I have to be honest with you. The head is kind of narrow, kind of. I don't really have a problem with the head and face sculpt. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know how much is coming through here, but the mouth, the expression, I know it's been like compared with the Justice League figure here pretty often, and you kind of see the pursed lips on the Justice League figure. For one, the cowls are different on the Justice League and the Batman versus Superman actual costumes. So they are different costumes, and you can also see the Justice League is a darker kind of bodysuit under the armor there. I don't want to go too much into that, but you get what I'm saying. But the face sculpt, the head sculpt, man, I don't really have a problem with it. I just have to be honest with you. The problem that I do have, and I think what's throwing most people off, and you can see it already kind of with the Justice League. Look at some set photos and like production photos from Batman vs Superman, and you can see where the Justice League kind of pretty well nailed the neck is a bit more like stout and kind of short. And then if you kind of look at and this is the thing that kind of blew my mind a little bit, it's more so, I can't tell if it's the chest or the shoulders, but if you look here, the size of like the arms, like people were saying that, the BVS needed to be a lot more, buff. Honestly, they're really, if when you get it in hand and you see it in hand, they're really pretty close in size, but it's just the shorter neck, and I'm trying to see with their chest and like their shoulders, that's really what's giving. It's the neck, man. Honestly, it's the neck, because you can kind of see the aesthetic, and the body, just the A shape is pretty much the same. It's just the neck is a little bit longer. Now, one thing I kind of noticed with this figure is this is kind of it's hard to describe. Like, it's almost it feels like a comic book interpretation of Batman versus Superman. How the character would look with kind of realistic features, I guess you would say. But I don't know. But at any rate, the only other problem I have, the back, there's no wash on the back. I'm sure you guys have seen that. It's not awful, but it's just kind of my OCD, I suppose, but it's kind of a cliche statement. But at any rate, Would have liked to see some wash. I don't have a problem with the face, man. I just gotta be honest with you. The figure feels great, like in hand. You know what I mean? Like it just really feels great. I mean, for me personally, I think like a lot of people have been waiting for this figure. This is what you kind of had to make do with until some of the other more expensive options have come out. I don't know why we even accepted this from Mattel, you know. And both of these are from Justice League. I mean, look at how the knees, and there's no cut for the ankles. I mean, pretty wild. But what I was gonna point out, even with these, you see the neck and shoulders, and they really accentuated, you know, the wide shoulders, and you know, but I mean, even like the size of the arms aren't crazy, right? But it's just that stout neck, you know, that really gives that kind of you know, and you can see it there. So that's really what it is. I'd like to see, I'm sure we'll see with these releases. I just received the ones that I ordered today, but I'm sure we'll see some customizers shortening the neck, and you'll see the aesthetic change drastically. I'm really not gonna do I just don't really have too much problem with this figure, man. I think that it's been hotly scrutinized, and let me get these out the way. I think it's been hotly scrutinized because it is a figure that's been, you know, people have been waiting for this to, you know, to be announced. Now, when we were just talking about the necks, this is something that McFarlane, let me put this down for just a second. This is something that McFarlane has to kind of get standardized, because as you're gonna see here, the '89 Batman, if I can kind of get him to stand here. This is the gold label. It came with the Batmobile, but it's the same one that came with the WB set. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get these guys to stand up here. The same problem with the '89, as you can see here. You see the neck? The Flash Batman, you see how thick that neck is, how wide that neck is? They did it right, they had it right the first time here. And then you see the neck, you know, this has been one of the topics. So that's just one of the areas that I think, you know, whoever the sculptor is that, you know, a project manager or whatnot that's handling these, they need to, especially for Batman, really need to pay close attention to that, because that can kind of make or break. Like this figure, I mean, it's a cool figure, but that neck, man, it just, it's not, you know, this is the superior, the Flash figure is the superior figure, in my opinion, and it's really mostly probably has to do with that neck, you know. So let me just put up a few more quick little comparisons here. What I do have to say, man, is that for me, just personally, for the longer, there's the Dark Knight Returns. Man, McFarlane has done some really good stuff here since he's gotten the license, especially at the price point. I mean, like I said, this is all stuff that's been hotly, you know, on the radar for a lot of people, and you know, it's Batman. You know what I'm saying? It's Batman, so it's gonna be hotly scrutinized every release. You know what I mean? But the fact is, man, McFarlane has done a tremendous job with this line. There's a lot of stuff I haven't liked, a lot of complaints, but in a full view, he's done a tremendous job with this line. For me personally, like I said, these two figures, let me just move over to the side a little bit. These two figures have been these are the two Batmans that I wanted. The only other one is the Brian Bolland Killing Joke, which will be quite similar to this one, right? So I doubt we see it anytime soon unless they do something, you know, drastically interesting or whatnot. But these are the two Batmans that, you know, honestly, since the license was announced, these are the two that I've been waiting for. And I just gotta say, man, I'm satisfied, man. I'm satisfied with how they came out. Very happy about it. So at this point, man, it's like a victory run. I like to see the Justice League with the darker suit, and again the cowl is different, and you know the straps and everything. I'd like to see that suit as well. You know, I'd like to also see. I've heard rumors that with the cloth cape, they're supposed to be making a Batmobile. McFarlane is. We'll see. I mean, I'll grab it if they do, but you know, honestly, man, these are the two that I had been waiting for, and you know, job well done. So personally for me, you know, this, as far as Batman's, like, this is kind of my 1A, 1B now. I mean, this, for the longest, this was my absolute favorite, you know, just nostalgia's sake. And I wasn't sure if we were ever gonna get this one, you know, along with everyone else, but you know, I'm not disappointed at all, man. I really pleased with McFarlane's work here. So let me know any of your thoughts. You know, if you agree or not. When you look at these two, you know, the comic book and the movie figure, I mean, you can really see it just really accentuates the job that they did on the Batman vs Superman. Again, I know it's hotly debated. A lot of people are not going to agree with what I said. If anything, the only thing I was going to say, you know, the gold paint apps for the toes, the knuckles, a little wash on the belt would have been nice, and a wash on the back. But at the price point, can't really complain too much. Also, the grapnel gun. I would have loved to see the wood painted on the grapnel gun, and the size a little different. I didn't even take it out the package, man. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you agree, I know a lot of people are going to disagree. But, you know, again, for the price point, you really can't beat it. All right, see ya.